Yo, hello, hello. All right, hang on. I'm just getting my shit together here. Um, okay. Is this even working? What the hell's going on? Why I got no sound? You guys can hear me though, right? Oh, there's a campfire chat for Diablos. Oh, I got sound there. Okay. I've been disconnected from the realm. Oops. I don't think we're doing a PvP server. I think there's one server. It's Wild Growth. Oh shit. Hmm. All right, well, I don't mind. I got to prep for the show anyways, so it's not like we have to get in this very second or anything. What did I play this week, you guys? What do you talk? I don't think I played any like new games. I finished the finished SC2 Wings of Liberty campaign. Finished SC2 Heart of the Swarm campaign. Working on masteries. Let's see. I guess our BG multiplayer continues. There's that. All right, hang on. Also, probably in my YouTube studio. Need to change things up a bit. Hang on. Okay. Pre-core Q stream? Yeah, pretty much. Probably no point in this, really. But, you know, getting in today, I guess, is going to be not easy. Uh, Not unexpected, given the reception and popularity of Classic and the low amount of servers. Apparently, they have tech, which means they don't need that many servers. So, you know, maybe it's not so bad. Let's see here. I'm just checking out what I've done today or what I've done this week. Oh man, I didn't. I need to finish the Expanse. We went a whole week and I didn't finish the Expanse. All right, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I guess I didn't stream too much. I had BG3 on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. I didn't stream. I was needed some downtime. World building yesterday, today, core and COD. It's been a light week. I think that's fine. Uh, do have one clip though. Hang on. I do want to like show a clip of our near death. We were at we were in that cave. Yeah, I think it was here. Hang on. Is there anything up on that hill? Left has 3. Oof. Okay. Oh shit, I aggroed him. Yeah.
Look out, incoming. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, I think it aggroed on the low level guy. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, leave that one.
We thankfully didn't pick up the other one. Yeah, Cornine got really low.
Stable. Get Cornine a heal. We got this.
Nice snap.
Oh my god. Who knocked me in the air?
Oh jeez. Okay. Incoming heal.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good.
I don't think it was that bad, but I
sure we
was
don't want
definitely
a quick
nervous.
respawn on this guy. Start moving towards the escape button.
You moved out of my head.
Grab your head.
Okay. Well, you know, that's how these things go. Good luck getting in. You had 3 minutes, and then it popped up that alliance was full due to balancing being in effect. Oh no. I joined Core Patreon today at $5 level, cost $7.50. Yeah, the exchange rate's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, what else have I... Did I try any new games? I definitely bought some, but didn't play them yet. As per usual. I've got a ton to try. Here's the list of games that I just have. Well, yeah, I've got 38 games on my I should play it sometime list. But I only have 7 installed. You guys want to see? I have one from 20. I have Alien Isolation on the list. If you look here. These are all the games like I've categorized. Like, I should probably play it sometime and still haven't gotten to it. Alien Isolation, Antichamber, Banner Saga 3, Blasphemous, Detroit Become Human, Foundation, Frostpunk, Ghost... That was a gift, by the way, Ghost Runner. Hunt Down, Iconoclast, Inkbound, Invisible Ink, Gift from Scott, Kill la Kill IF, Kingdoms Reborn, Last Campfire, Mad Max, Messenger, Myth Force, which I just picked up, Papers, Please, Project Zomboid, another gift, Pyre, Risk of Rain Returns, Sekiro, another gift, Sifu, Stanley Parable, Star... I've actually played that a little bit, but not like 20 minutes maybe, so I still need to try it. Stone Shard, Surgeon Simulator, Titanfall 2, Walking My Dog, which is it's a community member who made that game. Inquisitor Prophecy, Inquisitor Mechanus, gift from Scott. Realms of Ruin, I bought that last week and it looks cool, but I haven't gotten to it. War Tile, Wilder Myth, Witchtastic, Wolf Among Us, and Wolfenstein That's my like list. When I say I feel like I got this massive to do this, and yes, Inscription's not on there. Ziggurat, if you're watching, and yes, LA Noir, the VR files is not on here. I know. Okay, I can't put all of them in. I try to keep that list like relatively like normal. You know, I have games I haven't played on my VR list. Oh, I picked up Cobalt Core too. That looks good. That looks good. And then I have games I have yet to complete in my favorites list, you know? So, all right, patch 5 is now live on Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, it's just because there's Baldur's Gate 3 to play. Epilogue. Entirely new section into the game after defeat another brain that aims to provide a well-deserved sense of closure to your allies. Yo, really? Nice. Oh, shit. 2 new play modes, honor mode and custom. Oh, they've got honor mode. I'm probably playing Baldur's Gate 3. Wait, honor mode is permadeath, right? I wonder what custom mode is. Many performance improvements, particularly in Act 3. Good. Dynamic resolution for PS5 players. Games now available in Korean. Rejoice, South Korea. Alright, while at camp, you now access and manage the inventories of companions who aren't in your active party. Oh, wow, that's cool. That's really neat. Add a brand new fight in Ramesses Tower if you betray not that song. Oh. Oren's outfit now drops as loot and is wearable by anyone. Cool. We also... Shadowheart will always be the owner of the artifact during the tutorial if she is a follower. There's a tutorial? Becoming half illithid will now visually affect your eyes. Oh. Basic action variations. The cheer hotkey. A romance monathic can refer to her bond with user. Oh, yes. Okay, we got to get back to evil playthrough. You can talk to Maul more about our contract with okay. Oh, good. Yeah, she didn't give a lot of info on that. What a helpful oh, okay. I didn't lose anyone. Oh, I don't think I ever did that. Who's Danthalon? I must have. I just don't remember who that is. Made cinematic tweaks to restore sections of Asterians. There's an Ascendant sex scene? I made him an Ascendant, but I don't remember there being a sex scene. God damn it, there's so much I haven't played. So much I haven't done. Even though I played like 200 hours. Boo will no longer take damage from throne. Fix the puzzle in Cazador's palace. Fix the screen going black screen. Damn, this game's gonna be replayable for years. I've been playing this game for years, right? So good. All right, well, that was interesting. Kind of do. I'm gonna log in and just see. Well, it's downloading still, so. But I'm gonna log in and see what is going on with honor mode. I think. How's our queue? 30 minutes. All right. Well, I've got Subway coming, so I might have to go get that. And should just scope out the headlines. I don't think anything crazy happened. We do have the fireside chat.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to tell you about a new endgame event called the Abattoir of Zir and the return of a few malignant powers. My name's Ruben. I go by Bloodshed in the community. Some of you might already know me. I'm here today with Alex Yang.
Oh, does he actually work at Bloodshed? Works at Blizzard now?
The lead live class designer for all of Diablo 4. The Abattoir of Zir is an endgame pinnacle dungeon event built into Diablo 4. They're meant to be really challenging for the player. The way it works is it's a complete race against the clock. You jump in, kill as many demons as you can, fill up that progress bar. Once complete, a boss will spawn. Kill the boss, do this all before the timer runs out. You will not be able to enter until you complete all 7 tiers of your season.
Oh shit!
But once this task is finished,
I still have things to do on my season journey list.
For a blood forge.
All right, I gotta get back to my Diablo.
Use it, consume it. Once consumed, a portal will open up in Ked Bardu. It's a big blood portal. You'll be fine. Just go in there. Don't worry about it. By completing the Abattoir of Zir dungeon, you will now earn a brand new Tears of Blood glyph. This incredibly strong item boosts rare nodes within its range, but different to Nightmare dungeons, it has a cap 10 times bigger than normal sigils. So I'm curious just how high players can get it to this season.
Probably playing Diablo tonight. Now that I've seen this, I'm like, is that out yet? Hang on.
For some questions, I'm accompanied by Alex Yang, a systems designer for Diablo 4.
It doesn't sound like it.
Time, Alex. What's the highest level I can get a blood-forged sigil to?
So the sigil and dungeon both go up to tier 25, but this covers a much wider...
They've talked about this before.
From 25 tiers of something like a Nightmare dungeon. By condensing this large difficulty curve down to only 25 tiers...
Oh, December 5th. Okay, I'm not playing it today. December 5th.
That's awesome. When can we expect to play it?
The Abattoir of Zir goes live on December 5th, 2023 in patch 1.2.3. As a pinnacle endgame challenge, we want to make sure that you have enough time to prepare your ideal character for it. So this is around 2 months into the season with 1 month to go for you to push it to its limits. Afterwards, the thematic event will end.
So you discovered the queue. Yep, I did.
Awesome, Alex. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the information. I'm sure.
Thanks, man. Here's a lot of fun.
About Zir, another
We're going Horde.
being added to the season of Blood.
That's because John's going to be playing.
And rework of
all right.
some malignant powers that
I want to see this, so I'm just going to leave it on the screen. I got to go pick up my subway, so I'm going to be AFK just a few minutes, guys. Hopefully we get in. Maybe we don't. Who knows? Hey guys, I'm logging into Wild Growth. Says up on the screen there, Baton. Hello, Baton. Okay. I'm gonna go back to watching this while we
You
wait.
expect to find 5 different unique rings that harness the power of the Malignant. To recap, Malignant powers were a boost in a previous season.
Thanks,
that granted
Nilith.
you various abilities. In the Season of Blood, though, you can expect to find 5 of these powers in unique rings that harness the power of the Malignant starting November 7th. Now, a good amount of those Malignant powers are incredibly strong. The Diablo team are reworking and bringing these powers back, but with a healthy balance in mind for the long term. One of these in particular is a fan favorite, the Sacrilegious. This ring, if you don't remember, will auto-cast all your corpse skills, but will have a separate cooldown for each skill cast. Raise Skeleton and Corpse Explosion cast every 1 to 2 seconds, where Corpse Tendrils can be cast every 8 to 16 seconds. I didn't get a chance to play Necromancer, I know, sadly, in the Season of Malignant, so I'm excited. I'm stoked to jump right in. Barbarians, do you remember?
Oh, you
Focus
earned
Rage?
an
Well,
achievement. You
it's
put
now
on a
called
pink
Fuhrer.
pair of pants.
After spending 100 Fury, within 3 seconds, your next Hammer of
Hi,
the
Mixed Arion.
Ancients,
Thanks for the follow.
Upheaval, or Death Blow is guaranteed to crit. And
Oh,
do
you
more
earned an
damage.
achievement. You
Smash.
put on a
Very
pink
good.
pair
For
of
rogues,
pants.
the trickery power
Hey,
will make a
Apoc V,
return
thanks for
when
the
you
follow.
use the subterfuge skill, leave behind a trap that taunts enemies and explodes demons to pieces. Sorceresses can obtain the power of Tal Rasha himself, gaining increased damage for each element you deal damage with. And Druids, we got a rename here. Inexorable Force is now called Inexorable Will.
Did I miss
So when you cast your ultimate
Rogan
skill,
Barbarian?
you pull up to 30 enemies toward you and deal damage. It's so great to see these Malignant powers return. It's just more tools to build with, and I'm all for it. All right, Adam, I hope you're ready to sink your teeth
Wait,
into some of these questions.
Did I?
Yeah, totally.
Seconds, your next Hammer of the Ancients, Upheaval, or Death Blow is called Fury.
Yeah, that's not that interesting, is it? It probably does a lot of damage. Oops. Sorry. Gross. Chip.
After spending 100 Fury, within 3 seconds, your next Hammer of the Ancients, Upheaval, or Death Blow is guaranteed to crit and do more damage. Smash. Very good.
Where did the
For
rogue
rogues,
one
the
go?
trickery power
Oh.
will make a return when you use the subterfuge skill, leave behind a trap that taunts enemies and explodes demons to pieces.
Oh, I guess these are all
Sorceresses
Malignant
can
powers.
obtain the
I feel like I
power
have that
of
on a
Tal
ring.
Rasha himself, gaining increased damage for each element
Oh,
you
these are
deal
already in
damage
the
with.
game.
And Druids, we got a rename here. Inexorable Force is now called Inexorable Will. So when you cast your ultimate skill, you pull up to 30 enemies toward you and deal damage. It's so great to see these Malignant powers return. It's just more tools to build with, and I'm all for it. All right, Adam, I hope you're ready to sink your teeth into some of these questions.
Yeah, totally. I'm excited to get into it.
Let's do it. I gotta ask, will all the Malignant powers eventually make a return to the game?
Yeah, we have no current plans to bring back every single Malignant power, but we are taking a look at what players love, and we're very open to the idea of bringing back fan favorites.
Well, I want all of them, so where can I find them?
Yeah, so you can start finding these powers when you get into World Tier 3, and if you want to target farm them, then you'll be able to get them off of our Sean.
Target farming is like one of the coolest features in Diablo 4, so I love that we have the ability to do that. Will every seasonal theme also make their way back into the game?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's likely you're not going to see every single part of a seasonal theme come back into Diablo 4, but we're definitely taking a look at what parts of these themes resonate with players, and we're open to the idea of kind of bringing back the things that people really love to improve the game experience for everyone.
All this sounds absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Hope you enjoy your time in Sanctuary.
I'll see you in Sanctuary. That just about does it for today. Shout out to you guys for watching all the way through. We appreciate it, and I'll see you in Sanctuary.
Hello, welcome Diablo 4 community to another episode of Diablo 4 Campfire Chats. My name is Adam Fletcher. I am the Director of Community here for Diablo. Of course, I'm joined by two very familiar faces here. Mr. Joe Shelley, Game Director of Diablo 4, Mr. Joe Pipora, who is the Associate Game Director for Diablo 4. We have a quick stream to go over some stuff that's coming down the road here in the next couple weeks, which includes Abattoir Zir and Midwinter Blight. So lots to talk about. But what's kind of cool about this stream is that it is our final stream
4,000
of the year, the final stream of 2023.
We're closing it out.
We're closing it out, and this is actually it's been a year now since we started these streams. We started with Diablo 4 developer updates on, was it mid-December last year, I believe. So we're hitting a 1-year anniversary now, and of course on that debut stream I had these two wonderful gentlemen who joined us as well. So yeah, we have it's been a year. It's crazy.
We've all grown so much.
I know. We went from hand models to holding maps and things like that
Yeah, that was fun.
Campfire chats, which we even brought to BlizzCon, which was actually really cool last month.
That was
and
fun.
of course, now we're here to talk about Abattoir of Zir. But before we actually do jump into that, I know there is a very popular question within chat and a very popular question within the community that we want to address before we jump in, which is Diablo 4 bringing pay for power to the game?
Yeah, no. We're not. We've been very clear about this throughout, and I think very consistent about it, and that continues to be true. And that also applies to things like addressing stash.
Oh, they called it pay for power.
making sure that
I was
players
like,
have
what's
enough
paper
stash
power?
space
They
to
mean
store
paper
things. We talked about
DPS?
this at BlizzCon. We talked about getting aspects out of your stash inventory. We had a stash tab in Season 2. We think that having enough space for a regular player to feel like they are good in terms of being able to store the things they need is baseline functionality.
We
And
need
have no
better
plans to add,
cosmetics
any pay for
from
power
drops.
to the game.
Yeah, it's been
Not just
a
the
very
store.
popular question this week, and of course, we've been seeing it a lot in chat, even as we were in our countdown, and we wanted to make sure we talked about it early with everyone to reassure people that no, that is not the plan for Diablo 4, and players are still going to be able to enjoy it without the need of needing to pay for any type of power or anything like that. So, and there won't be any of that in there. So, great to hear. And I know that we have a lot to talk about today. The first thing we did want to mention, though, is actually Midwinter Blight, which is an event that is actually going to be coming up here on December 12th. It is our holiday event. It's actually our first holiday event. It's funny because people have asked us about, hey, what about Halloween? And we kind of remind people that like Season of Blood is kind of Halloween-ish. It's very much focused in around
It's got
vampires.
It's got skeletons. I mean, it's got all the same stuff you expect to get from a Halloween.
Exactly. So Midwinter Blight coming December 12th is our holiday event that we talked about and we announced at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
But we wanted to talk a little bit more about that today. Joe, can you give us a little bit more info? Joe P. Can you give
Yeah,
us a little
sure.
bit more
So yeah, Midwinter Blight, as I know that people got a chance to see some of the video stuff before, and like we talked about at BlizzCon, but Midwinter Blight is obviously our first like true and proper holiday event. We're bringing to Sanctuary in Diablo 4. In it, we're going to be visiting the Fractured Peaks again, where a horrible storm has like descended upon the people of the here we are has descended upon the people.
Oh, we
of
got
the Fractured
purple
Peaks.
zones now.
Now we're going to be introduced to a new character named Gillian, who's a bard. Gillian is here trying to like rouse the spirits of the people of the
Oh,
other
I was
side,
expecting Britta,
trying to
guys.
help
I'm
them
kind of
work together to
disappointed.
push back against
You're gonna name
a
an
new
NPC
threat that's
Gillian.
emerging from
Come
like
on
the
now.
hills and mountains nearby, coming down from the glacier and down from the mountainous peaks nearby.
So, Joe, can I trust this guy though? Because I don't have a good track record with musicians in Diablo
I
4.
think that anyone that plays music in the Fractured Peaks is generally trustworthy.
Okay.
So I think that you're going to
He's
be.
looking a little sketch there.
I don't know. I
playing in front
trusted
of the screen.
all those
I don't
folks in
think
the
that's.
vest.
I don't think that's fair to those of us who boast to have.
You here
nice
for the
facial
community
hair. I think that
references?
Gillian is a perfectly
Cool.
trustworthy
Cool,
person.
cool, cool.
So, with that in mind, so Gillian's there trying to rouse people together, and they're going to be sending the heroes of Sanctuary off into the Fractured Peaks to fight against this new threat, the Red Cloak Horror and his minions. Who are out there kind of like causing great mayhem. They're kind of erecting these disgusting snow sculptures out of discarded parts out throughout the environment. Yeah, here is a group of the Red Cloak Horror's minions just kind of like running around. They're very, very dangerous creatures. But they're also fun. They're kind of like they're having a good time with it. Like they're enjoying the season. They're in it for the spirit of it, which is just basically causing a lot of mayhem and destruction and pain for the people. So you get a chance to feel a little bit of that as you're going through the event. Here is our main boy, the Red Cloak Horror himself. This is going to be your opportunity to go and fight this boss. Will occasionally pop into the content. You'll get good rewards from him as you're kind of progressing through the event. And you will take all of these like trophies and things you're collecting from all of his minions, and kind of as you're engaging in various events and saving people in Sanctuary, able to bring these back to Kyovashad, be able to unlock some really cool cosmetics.
Awesome, yeah, and I know there's even a few like kind of exclusive things for beyond the cosmetics for this event, such as we have an elixir, for instance, that actually grants a little bit more experience.
Yeah. There's an elixir that grants 10% extra experience when you're drinking it. It also gives you other effects when you're active inside the Fractured Peaks, but you can also just use it for the XP if you want.
And I will note the XP actually does work even outside of Fractured Peaks, so it's like, hey, it's an extra bonus for players if they're looking to grab a little bit of extra experience. And then there is also, for this event, a new like offensive aspect.
Yeah, there's a new seasonal aspect you get to play with. It kind of like dovetails with some of the new shrines and things that we have throughout the environment. So there's a lot of fun stuff for players to engage with throughout the season. And then again, a lot of really cool cosmetics to collect.
Yeah, so it's a lot of cool stuff coming in Midwinter Blight.
And these, the things, some folks might be wondering if the things like the elixirs and the aspects persist after Midwinter Blight ends, and they do, right?
Yep. They do, yeah. They will persist after the event ends, but you'll only be able to collect them now during this period of time.
Exactly. So
right.
like stock up. There you go. Yeah. Stock up for the elixirs themselves, and of course, Midwinter Blight is on December 12th. So make sure to log in, and it'll be running through the holidays for players to actually jump in and check out from that end. But the next other big thing.
Yeah, that's like 2 weeks away.
Exactly.
What's happening next week?
Yeah, what's happening next week? So we're actually going to go back to the week prior to December 12th, and on December 5th.
As you would naturally do. You naturally work out 2 weeks, then come back a week as you're talking through things. Yeah.
Organization. But yeah, we're actually going to move to December 5th, which will be the Abattoir of Zir. This is a new endgame mode that we're actually adding to Diablo 4. It's for a limited time only. It's a seasonal event specifically that we announced at BlizzCon. And we are actually, for the first time on one of our streams, we're going to have a live run-through of the Abattoir of Zir, starring, you won't be able to see this wonderful man on camera, but he is mic'd up because we wanted to hear him struggle.
I make do with your eyeballs.
Filthy Rich. He's actually a senior community manager on the community team here on Diablo. You may have recognized
Shaggy, thanks for the follow.
Or his name on our forums. Posting patch notes, hotfix notes, etc. Rich is amazing, and he is actually going to be.
Oh, they're gonna run through it now.
Oh,
okay.
Right off
you can pet the dog in Diablo 4.
When we practiced this, the dog wasn't there.
In case it wasn't clear, that is still a feature that exists in the game.
Yeah.
Say hi, Rich.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. There's a spin of friendship. Okay, so we are. Yeah, it's funny. It's like last stream of the year, and we're doing it live. This is fun.
Now, and when we say live, we're talking about this is a live, like he's playing for real right now.
Yes.
That is what I was referencing, but I wasn't clear. That's true.
But it is on a dev server.
Yep.
So
But they didn't put a camera on him? They couldn't afford like another camera?
There might be some debug text or
Maybe he didn't want to be on camera.
Who's also on this.
Could happen.
Wild growth,
Yeah.
Shaggy.
Yeah, you might see some weird stuff, folks. And if people,
I'm fearful we just.
I don't think I'm getting in.
This megaphone to the team
Before quorum. That time has climbed up
this
to
is
2
the first time we've
hours.
done something like
That's absolutely right. And if you complain about it, we just won't do it again. And wouldn't you rather just see really cool stuff? I bet you would.
I was getting a lot of texts and pings, and even yesterday I was like,
Alright,
I'll log
so
in
Rich,
before
what,
core
what
and maybe
build are
try
you
and get
gonna
started. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, so,
Joke's on us.
On my side, I'm actually going to be running a popular build, the Ball Lightning build. I'm going to wait for Joe to kind of explain some of the earlier stuff, basically a lot of the gameplay loop stuff. But pretty familiar for those who've been watching a lot of the endgame material. For
6,
Ball
it's in an
Lightning.
hour.
Specifically for this, I really focused around like survivability, mobility, with a sprinkle of DPS. But I think before we get into
With a
it,
sprinkle.
little sprinkle.
Yeah,
DPS.
ball lightning
You're talking
known
about
for
ball lightning.
it's low damage output capacity. Absolutely. So Rich here. So when you let's say we're talking about the Abattoir of Zir. I know we talked about this before, but for the uninitiated, it's going to be a new.
Only thing I know,
endgame
Selfs, about
dungeon
that
content
spit
experience
take is
for
it's
players to
from
engage with
back when we
that
were
really
Heroes of the
unlocks
Storm
after
show,
you finish the season journey of season 2.
and I think it was
So if
live.
you
I
really
think it
wanna
was
go and
live
start
on
kinda
Core,
going through this
but
content,
I couldn't tell you what
you'll need to have
episode.
done all the things in the season beforehand to be able to gain access to the very first.
But if somebody follows, they'll see it.
Here at the Occultist. Now, once you've taken this sigil, this is going to open up a new dungeon space that's going to be more challenging than a tier 100 Nightmare dungeon. Now, there are 25 tiers of the Abattoir of Zir for players to engage with, and each of these does get progressively much more challenging as you step up. Much more challenging than, say, going from like a tier 75
long is
Nightmare
this?
dungeon to a tier 76 Nightmare dungeon.
This will take me
So
all the
going
way
from
to
a tier
Core.
1 to a tier 2 to a tier 3. These are really significant steps.
Hey, Shaggy.
So, and we want this because we're getting season 2's been a lot of fun.
Thank
I'm
you
having
for
a lot
the
of fun
sub.
playing with my
Appreciate it.
Firewall Sork right now.
Oh yeah, I should run ads, eh?
It is. We want to make sure that there's a really good place for players to be able to bring all of this power they've been collecting from whether they're farming Duriel for Uber Uniques or just they get a really, really great combination of vampiric powers. We want to have a place where they can go to really show off and really push hard into a type of content. That's the focus here.
Yeah, and we mentioned you mentioned just now that the.
Anyways,
the
thank you
Avatar
very much,
requires
Shaggy.
that
I
you
appreciate
completed
the
season journey,
subscription.
right?
And
so
the
season
support of the
journey,
channel. That's
last
awesome.
step of season journey
You guys have been really
requires,
great. I've been, I
you can skip
appreciate
through
all the
thing,
support
do
of the channel
objectives,
from
but
everyone.
There's still difficult objectives complete.
It's been really awesome.
Kill Duriel, even if you skip
Oh, more's coming.
the 1099
Custos. Thank you for the sub.
That's not arbitrary. That's because
Custos.
characters who
Custos. Sorry, I'm having a hard time
aren't
with your
able to
name.
do that really are not.
It's not that hard.
Avatars here.
Not that hard, Bo.
I know there are a lot of folks who are level 100 out there who maybe haven't completed this yet. We've got this weekend coming up.
Yes.
So get your season journey finished.
Exactly, and if players still haven't completed it by this weekend or when Abattoir Zir actually hits, they can still complete it anytime when the seasonal event is actually going on and jump in even afterwards. So if you've got plans this weekend or something like that and can't finish it, don't worry, it's okay. You can still do that over the next couple of weeks because this event will be going through January or the beginning of January itself.
Right.
So
You still have time.
you still have time. So I know
Anyone
Rich
here
here
still
has
playing
actually, as
Diablo?
we were talking, spawned a level 1.
I'm looking forward to the Abattoir.
Using the sigils himself right there. So I think this is a
And
good
I'm actually
opportunity
looking
for
forward to
him
playing
kinda
season
jump
3.
in.
Honestly, I want an excuse to play.
Yeah, so Rich has done a little of this content on his character here already. So he's got a little bit of a preview of how it's going to play, how it's going to feel to play through. But I think it's going to be pretty fun. Let's see how he performs.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I did
Yeah,
want to
Diablo
address
4 is a
on,
win, man.
that I saw from
It's
chat
good.
is that
Good.
the character that I have is as close as I can be to being maxed out, because this is trying to be as relatively close to what I've been practicing on.
God, is
which
anyone
has
playing
been
Ball Lightning? It looks
the tier
crazy.
level 100
I've
Nightmare
seen them
dungeons.
around.
And I think there's a few things that I wanted to call out as well. On the actual sigil itself,
I haven't
think
played
one difference
Wizard
here
yet.
is that I'm not aware of what afflictions I'm going to encounter in this battle. So I think capping things or getting as close to as capped I can for things like my armor, my magic resist, my damage, and all those. Just really trying to be ready and prepared for any surprises.
Yeah, I know Rich is because you've played through Abattoir a little bit, you've built a little bit more survival on your Sork here, as opposed to completely glass cannon. He's a little bit more prepared than I think some other people would be. But I know with us showcasing here a level 1 Abattoir, kind of at least showcases a little bit. How would you guys compare this to a Nightmare dungeon in terms of tier difficulty, or would it be similar to a Nightmare dungeon in terms of tier with a level 1?
Yeah, the level 1 Abattoir of Zir is kind of close to what a level 104 might be. That's kind of where things start, and then things step up from there. Now, you'll see here right off the bat, there's some big differences, right? On the right-hand side, you see that there's a bar that's being filled. Abattoir of Zir runs are really races against time. So Rich here is really focused on killing creatures as fast as he can in an effort to kind of beat that timer and summon the boss at the end of the experience. Loot's not dropping for him as he's kind of rolling through this thing. We don't want to slow you down. We want to keep you killing as fast as you can to show off your ability to kind of survive in these environments.
Crossbow
Now,
rogue.
as we step
gotta
up,
play
one
bow
thing
rogue.
we think is interesting about this is, we actually, taking one step back, actually.
It's a no
Some
basic
of the things
ability
that,
build.
that Joe's talked about when we were at the,
It has
BlizzCon,
plateaus.
was our commitment to end game content and
You do
and
pen
item
shot
and
until
rewards and things.
until
The things we want to do
rapid
to
fire
continue to make the game
becomes a
better.
better option, and you
Avatar
boost your
Zero
basic
is,
attacks.
like, it's designed
But
explicitly
you're using
to appeal to
crossbows. You
players
probably
at
should
this
use
stage of
bows.
the gameplay experience, and we're going to be using it to kind of like think about and iterate upon more features like this we want to bring out in the future. That's one of the reasons why it's a seasonal event. It's a fun experience.
But it
for
still might
season
not be
2,
fun,
but we'll have
just
slightly
not your
different
play
ideas
style.
in the future of how we want to kind of create similar content.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah,
Crossbows
and I
have low
know,
attack speed,
with,
so I
like,
boost
you can see
attack
Rich-
speed and
by the
basic
way, Rich
attacks.
has been so lucky.
And
with
then,
shrines
pen
every
shot's
single
good
time
at early
he's gone
levels.
through.
Yeah.
He's
But then
like
once the HP
consistently
pool
gets
gets deep and
artillery
things get
shrines,
challenging, you
which,
need to do you need to switch up to rapid fire.
I'm just gonna claim like
But yeah, there's not a lot of
manager.
Community manager
benefits.
RNG. Yes. I
Definitely
think,
part of it.
I'm going to be 100% honest with everyone here and those watching. I
I
went
find,
super
like,
tanky
Rogue's
because I think
versatile,
one
but
of
it
the
doesn't have a lot
nightmares
of
that I would
flashy,
have
like,
is actually
stuff.
to die in the middle of a demo.
Well,
no-
we'll make that happen. I promise. But I know
I've been thinking of
with level
switching,
one,
though,
as
to
you can see,
melee-
Rich
a
is,
melee
like,
build for
well
any,
ahead
like,
of time, so he's
level
clearly
100
geared
stuff.
out and ready for.
I
level
don't have all the
one.
gear.
But
I'm also
at the
wondering
end
if
of
Thorns
the-
is a.
these,
Seems silly to do
avatars, we'll
Thorns
see
on a
here in
rogue,
second
but
as
I'm
it
wondering
gets
if Thorns
time.
is a possibility.
We do have a little bit of a kind of an.
I think the problem is
Thorns
Thorns is just not going to scale.
towards the end.
Yeah. So and one thing that's making this particularly interesting is with the vampiric powers in season 2, with Rich running metamorphosis regularly. I mean, he's basically got
The
like
problem with
permanent
basic
unstoppable.
attacks at 100 is I
he's
think
kinda,
I've
like, using trigger
used
stats
like
to
all
keep
the
setting that unstable
ways
currents,
to buff
and he
damage
is
I've pretty
just
much
keeping
tapped
that
into
4
that I can
seconds,
think of.
unstoppable uptime. And
Ooh,
you summon the boss,
shit.
and wow, that was spicy right off the bat. So every time you manage
What
to
level
clear
are
these
these
levels,
guys?
you're
I wasn't paying
summoning 3
attention.
Bloodseekers,
Oh, they
who are,
like
pretty strong.
150?
They're gonna have,
Oh, shit.
affixes of their own.
155.
You're gonna have to go ahead and clear through. The timer is still ticking, but Rich has
Oh,
got.
yeah,
a
I'm not
really
gonna be
good
ready
healthy
for
lead on the timer
155
right
on
now, so I don't think it's
hardcore.
gonna be a
Fuck.
problem.
I'm
It's
still
gonna be a
doing
question of whether
I'm
or
still
not
doing
you get
level
spiked by
100
something you didn't
dungeons.
expect. But with the amount of barrier you should be able to pass.
Yeah,
with your
it's
sword
the
at this point,
Nephilim
I
rifts.
think
They're
that's
adding
no
Nephilim
problem.
rifts
This
to
is
the
a
game.
unfavorable spawn.
Yeah, I don't
location.
like that. I don't like this spot.
You're in some tight corners
I think
here.
in every single practice this has happened. but
They're calling it
what
the
I'm-
Abattoir of
what
Zir,
I'm
but
feeling lucky
it's
about is that I don't have a suppressor. Which
it's
is definitely a
basically,
nightmare for me and my ball lightning.
it's basically a
But
Nephilim
yes, I'll
rift.
pass it back over to you because there's actually some pretty cool stuff to call out over here.
Yeah, so yeah,
And
okay,
with
so
the
upon
Abattoir,
finishing
you
your
get a
first
you get a
run
super
through the
powerful
Abattoir,
glyph
you're
that you
gonna
can level up,
you're
and you
gonna
can
earn
level up your
first- you're
glyphs
gonna
in
earn
the
rather
Abattoir.
special glyph associated with
Yeah,
these
Tears of
events.
Blood,
The
see?
Tears of Blood glyph that you can see here. Now, Rich has already spent some XP on this, upgrading it before, but this is an extraordinarily powerful multiplicative bonus glyph you get to kind of slot in. This has got 200 levels associated with it for you to upgrade through. Over the course of
Wow.
time. It starts out at the size.
Yeah,
of
they're
a
giving
15
the
normal glyph,
people who
to
like
run
playing
your
every
glyph.
day all the
So
time
it is
their
extremely
treadmill.
strong right off the bat. So you're gonna be able
They're
to
starting to
use
think of stuff
this
like
to kinda
that.
help you get through some
Diablo
of those
4 in
difficult,
like 4 years
tiers
is going to
as
be
you go deeper and
incredible.
deeper into the experience. And there's one other really neat thing about this as well. So this experience, the Tears of Blood glyph itself has like a lot of Paragon glyph XP that you need in order to upgrade it as you continue to like go on through the experience. And one of the things you wanted to do was make sure that if you're at this stage, if you want to experiment with other glyphs, you can still you get giant amounts of XP from finishing Abattoir 0 level.
No, it's coming
Without
December
that,
5th, so it's current season
Material
patch.
1, you get 1,000. So if you want to use this as an opportunity to kind of like rank up some of those other glyphs you've got, because you want to play with other things for other builds and other things, here's an opportunity for you to kind of like go in quickly, like level up a bunch of those other glyphs that you have. In addition to not
Don't play
taking too much
PoE,
time away from
Tezzeret.
your
No
just
damage.
one
Is there
kind of,
damage
like,
numbers
state
in PoE
use for
too?
that. But we think that's like an extra fun little bit. But yeah, Tears of Blood glyph, super powerful.
I don't play
players able to
RPGs that
engage
don't
with.
do
Again,
damage
only
numbers.
here for the season, and it'll be retired at the end of that season.
Yeah, and like we just saw Rich, of course, churn through a level 1 pretty easily. I
Yeah.
struggled a little at the end, but
It was a
they're-
little struggle.
They're just adding it.
Wasn't so
End
bad.
game in Diablo 4 is pretty
I
much
know
the
Rich went
target
quickly,
farming
or what, sigils
on the
do you
4
have?
bosses they added.
I think what I did over there was
So they added 5 bosses kind of. Well, some of them were already in, but basically there's a target farm boss system, and then there's beating Uber Lilith. Next week they're adding Nephilim rifts. They're calling it the Abattoir of Zir, and you can run that. They said what did they say? Like 200 levels on the glyph. So you
love
know,
to
you can
reserve
run
the 10 and a half
abattoirs,
levels,
um,
for a later moment.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
You run
at the end,
abattoirs
I
till
do-
you're like
As a
ridiculously
reminder,
powerful.
like,
But you have to
tiers
finish your
for
season journey,
avatars here go up to
which I haven't
25.
done. I'm on the
So,
last leg of the
there
season
are
journey.
a significant amount of tiers, and they, of course, go up in difficulty by a pretty, like, almost an exponential amount as you're going from tier to tier.
We're adding
But
WASD
here's the-
movement?
All right, like,
That's weird.
You already asked the chat, and the chat is already going, like, screaming 10.
Yeah.
How
So
about they
just
add
want you to
damage
done.
numbers?
Okay, we
which-
said like we're gonna let chat choose 2, 6, or 10. We'll see what they say. I'm like, it's gonna be 10. They're gonna absolutely want to see. 10.
They're gonna want to see 10. So, Rich, take us into a
Let's do it.
tier 10, and
Yes.
let's see how he does. Now, are you gonna
You got
adjust
4
builds a little bit
You have
here?
4
Well, so-
potions too. I just want to call it. You have 4
I mean,
potions.
a few things here. I think for the players at home is that obviously you saw that the previous one I was geared up to be a little bit more tanky because the last thing that I want to do is embarrass myself and die on there. But I think what Joe and team can do is also explain like how some of the scaling works as I go up. So I think I'll just go in. I think what I'm trying to balance out now is just try to add a little bit more damage output by sacrificing some of my tankiness. Just because I anticipate that the higher HP is going to be a challenge, and I don't want to lose to the time, and I actually want to see how far I can progress. So let me activate this.
I was like, you went back in without acting.
Yeah,
you know,
so-
the nerves. It's the nerves.
Yeah, to Rich's point here, I mean, it's not easy to play games on stream, right?
No,
No.
it's not.
no, so this is why
no.
we're gonna have him narrate
It's not that hard.
a full
It's not that- I don't
Romeo
know.
and Juliet play. To
You get a little
us
nervous.
playing.
Once you get used to it,
Sure.
you
Full
know,
color
it's not that hard.
Full concentration on this.
But yeah, I
No,
guess you
so
do
to
get
Rich's
nervous
point
when you
earlier
first
about,
start.
how the scaling works. So as we were experimenting with this content, one of the things we discovered pretty quickly is we just
true.
didn't want to continue to scale monster damage up, you know, in a really
Everyone's like,
significant way.
You're
as
worried
we
everyone's
kinda
gonna be
go
like,
through
"What
this
the hell are you
content.
doing? You suck."
We really want to focus a lot more on monster health.
And then,
scaling
and then
as
it's
we go.
like, oh well,
Because
everyone
it-
knows
we
I
get-
suck now.
we
The
get to a
secret
point
side
where,
of the
like,
bag,
any bat
anyways.
could kind of, like,
Who
clip you
cares?
and just basically just completely ice you unless you're invulnerable at that point.
Although
and it
I don't
just
really
makes
suck
it a
that
less
much
fun
at
experience
heroes. I'm pretty
overall.
good at that.
So we wanted to make
that
sure it was
game.
much more about like, can you beat that timer? Can you survive?
I'm
the
getting
boss
better at
and,
StarCraft.
You know, not as much about. Like,
Although I
damage
wouldn't
gets
call
so,
myself
so
good,
high
but
over the
I'm
course
definitely
of
getting
time
better.
That there's no opportunity for different classes to really be able to perform, right?
Yeah, and the Tears of Bloodglyph really is going to increase your damage output.
Yes.
Right, so leveling that up. is
Did
gonna
you
be
actually
able-
have your Tears for Bloodglyph equipped?
Oh, is it equipped?
So I did not, and I think one of the things that I wanted to do. I mean, for me, I think as I've been going in,
They're
and testing it, I
157.
think
There's
it's
not that
actually
many.
really
There's only 2
to
levels
see, like,
higher.
how it's been with and without. I think just exploring a little bit more.
Was his
into it
build?
as well.
Was his build that
Like,
bad?
While my
I guess he
Paragon
did
board
get,
is
like,
optimized for what I have
hit
here. It's
pretty hard
definitely
at one
opening
point.
up a lot more. Oh, hold on a second. Can you-
Also, you didn't replenish your
No, he
potions
didn't.
before you
I
went
tried
in
to
here.
warn him.
So
It's about- This is for the stream.
mistakes were made.
This is
Li-
for this-
this is for the
live
stream.
mistakes
Oh, I
were
see. You're
made.
trying
is
to
for
give
the
yourself a
stream,
disadvantage
right?
for clicks. I see.
Hey,
This
we've
is for the
got,
stream.
we've got more max potions.
Yeah.
That's
So-
true.
Yeah.
So they don't
Rich-
drop
Rich did not
potions
do
in here?
himself a few favors
Why is there
here.
no
One, he
potions
did
dropping?
not
You
replenish
should be able to
his
pick some
potions,
up
and
off
then two,
these,
he did not equip
Blades.
Tears for Bloodglyph.
Yeah,
Uh,
you are
because-
falling behind that timer pretty
Yeah,
quickly at this
because
point.
he wanted to be a show off
Yes.
and is not
Yeah.
showing off.
Well, it's interesting to see how valuable, you were talking about this earlier, how valuable the vampiric powers are in this content as well.
Yeah.
Really configuring those.
Yeah, I mean, if you're permanently unstoppable, like Snake Family is a lot
Yeah, I
less
picked up
dangerous to
potion.
deal with across the board. Like you don't have to deal with that that charging stun. You don't have to
charge
deal with
bite, yeah.
you don't have to deal with the paralyzed. Like there's a
But yeah, he's
you
not.
have some advantages.
He's not
I
going
think
to
it's
make
funny
it.
that we got snakes randomly twice in a row.
Yeah.
But hey,
Miss
you know,
Huts,
that's the
we've lost.
nature of,
Yeah,
of live
I'm
gameplay.
thinking I'm probably going to
And-
play
and
some
I
soon.
will
It's
say,
not just snakes though. You can see other things in this.
We're
Right,
nearing
yeah,
the
that's a
end,
great point.
by the
Each
way.
time you enter Abattoir
Hots is
Seer,
a
you're
great
going to have
game.
different monsters,
I
different
say that having
class
played
sets,
League recently and
different,
been like,
different
you know,
layouts.
Hots is just better.
And I think
in
the,
this
the
game.
big thing here is that
I just don't know
my
what to
eyes
tell people.
definitely drawn into the timer compared to how it was in the tier 1. You know, I'm definitely not taking out as many monsters as I need to get the potions, and
and,
like
and
that
tip-
timer is really hurting my feelings right now.
that and
Everything
I-
seems to
I
be
Zero
would say, like,
potions,
the normal
alright, rip.
progression for players will be
Oh
Rip.
my gosh.
oh well then that ends the story of Rich and
Did my
Abattoir.
best.
I will say that the normal progression for players is not to go immediately to a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Chat deemed that you needed to go to a 10 immediately.
Yeah.
And Rich deemed that he did not need to actually equip his Tears of Blood.
They were
Glaive.
only. I
So,
thought they were 155 when he
But
was
this takes us
fighting
to an
in the
interesting
last
point.
dungeon.
What happens when you die in a
Yeah, so when
Avatar
you die in the video game, you die in the video game. So actually, you're going to lose your run because you have no respawns available when you go through a Abattoir of Zir run. So you'll have to go back. You'll have to make another key. You know that progress is going to be lost. So
Yeah.
you'll have to go
And
spend more sigil power.
yeah, so just a
Well.
word for warning for like even like a double, like I guess penalty for hardcore players.
hardcore
Like
players,
yeah,
yeah.
lose your character and you
Lose your
you
run.
lose your
Yeah, you're right.
your run.
Huge double penalty.
Double
Huge
pen-
double.
One
It's a
big
little more than a
penalty,
double.
one small one, so,
Neat
yeah.
math, but
I do want
like
to
a
just
double
follow up on the
penalty. I'm
mention
like,
earlier
it's
what happens at the
it's
very
just
end.
full
I
penalty.
think
Like
the trying to return back to the adventure, but being
Yeah, this is fun.
surprised by this is something that we wanted to call out.
yeah,
so.
I miss
Yeah,
I miss
so, like,
talking about
basically,
HOTS,
if
but
you-
there isn't
the
much to
portal's gonna
talk
be
about
there,
these days. You
while
know?
the event is active, but unless you've actually used a sigil to kick it off, you're basically just going to be able to come to this like kind of broken edifice here.
The strategy
there's
is
nothing
pretty
nowhere
well
else
set
to go.
on that
I'd be
stuff
curious,
too. Like,
like,
there's no
if
new
you are
maps,
in here with,
very
like, a
little
party, can you
changes.
Revive other party members as
I still think a lot of
if
Dreadnought's
they have-
thinking on the game is
when a
still
player
you
goes
know
down, the
the right
run's
way.
okay. Whoa. Okay.
Pu-
There we
push
go.
is paramount.
So
Lane
I
control is
know there's a
paramount.
few people asking questions like, hey, if I'm running this with the group, if anyone dies there, it's a done run. So it is a little punishing, but at the same time, it is end game content. that
Absolutely.
you-
Well, I mean, sure. One of the things really interesting
Oh.
about
You're awesome,
having
Bo.
content
Keep
like
being
this in
you.
endgames,
Hey,
we do
there's
wanna make
Rayna.
sure that
I
there
mean, I love
are
StarCraft.
Lots of ways, as you've seen in season
Shaggy,
two, like
thanks so
farm
much
up
for
different gear
set
that
up a
you want to
monthly
make sure
tip.
you can
Wow,
power- your
that's
characters are
generous
really,
of you,
really
sir.
powerful. But then
Thank you for the
when you
$10.
get into the next
Appreciate
tier of
that.
content, like, do we want you to continually always get more gear to always replace the gear that you have, right?
Well, that's awesome.
So the Tears of Blood Glyph is an example of us like kind of experimenting with different ideas of progression for players and see how these things feel. Like
The only content there would be to talk about our games and our progress if we were ranking, but we don't do that.
How much
Like,
you have to
no one's playing.
reintegrate.
I play
you know,
occasionally.
aspects
That's
of
about it.
your build every time you like kind of go through a content tier.
I should
So, like,
probably
we-
see.
we-
Well,
we
I'm sure I'll
talked
be
about
waiting
that
a
a
long
bit.
time for
Yeah.
games. I
But,
wonder what the
one
ladder's
thing I'm
like
really
these
excited
days.
about for this is so Tears of Blood is gonna be like really, really powerful. Again, 200 tiers, multiplicative damage increases. It continues to scale up as you go. It's very, very strong. It's gonna be fun to see players who are able to see how far people can eschew that, like not use the Tears of Blood.
Okay,
See how far they're
so
able to actually get
this
through
one
the
I think.
content. I think that's gonna be like that.
So there's a lot of criticism about leaving like YouTube videos run while streamers go away, but this is a piece of marketing. Like, it's not someone's creative effort or anything. I'm gonna leave it running. And I'm gonna do a lake run. Okay, I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm hoping players end up, sending us tweets on social or sorry, it's not tweets anymore. X posts.
Yeah, posts and reposts
on social, or posting on Reddit and forums of like how far they can actually progress. It'll be really cool to see where the community kind of lands and where some of our more hardcore players end up landing as well, especially hardcore characters, people that really risk everything to try out this content. So there we go. So that's Abattoir Zir. Abattoir Zir again hits on December 5th. It'll be with our next patch. And and that will be next week. We actually plan on having patch notes available on Diablo4.com tomorrow. So it will be available for people to check out patch notes for that update hitting next week. So thank you again, Rich.
Yeah, thanks, Rich.
Really appreciate it. Thank you for sacrificing your dev build character for this, which is nearly the same as your live build. I know.
Yes. This build I wanted to make as close as I can to in terms of a one-to-one representation of what I have on retail. I know for a lot of the people at home, it's important to try to have and see and play with something that's relevant to them. So yeah, just tried to do that. Excited to see everybody online. Let's farm up. Let's do this. See how high you can get.
Get your season journey done. Because that is the requirement for jumping into Abattoir Zir and checking it out. Cool. So I know one thing that we do want to talk about as well that we had mentioned on social, and this is just a quick mention from us and a quick update from us, and it is around itemization. So one thing we do want to show off, though, is we all have, well, I'm not zipped up. I'm wearing my Diablo 4 bomber here. Oops. There we go. But
Doing some extra hand
But
modeling.
yeah, we do have these really fancy little shirts here.
Oh, gee, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You guys even remember the cue.
I remember.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah.
It's this is a playoff
go.
of Adam Jackson. Made this wonderful saying before.
Yeah.
Damage on Tuesdays.
Damage on Tuesdays.
And yeah,
It felt appropriate for discussing
we
itemization.
felt like this was an appropriate time to show off.
We were like,
these
we're gonna take.
jackets
Well, what we'll do is
specifically.
we'll take the jackets off while Rich is playing. We won't forget to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Well, we were supposed to do that.
We were
Yeah.
supposed to do that to have this be like a
That
better
would've been
bit.
a
So
good plan.
instead,
That would've been a
everyone just got
funnier
to watch us awkwardly take off hoodies and jackets. So, but yes,
I think the people loved it, obviously.
yes, and I do want to give a shout out to Ricky on our art team.
Richie,
Richie on our art team, who actually ended up making these amazing Damage
Yeah,
on
I love
Tuesday
the
shirts.
graphic design on
Yeah,
this.
it's really
that's
cool.
cool.
Little rogue shooting through Tuesday.
Yeah.
But itemization, I know we wanted to talk really quickly about that, and Joe.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot to talk about. At BlizzCon, Mr. Shelley himself got a chance to kind of talk about a few things that we've got coming. We have going on. We talked about some of the problems that we see with itemization out there today. You know, I think just to kind of reiterate some of those points, as players are going through the experience, you know, it's challenging the amount of mental bandwidth you have to use to process all of the items that you're collecting. It's difficult to find upgrades because there's a really low chance for you to get like a perfect rare roll. And generally in ARPGs, it's okay for it to be a low chance for the roll to be perfect, but there's such a high degree of variability in items right now as they stand, where it's like usually it's like, okay, well, this item is 80% of what I want it to be, and that can feel okay to find that pretty regularly, but that could be kind of hard to find right now in Diablo 4, right? And feels almost virtually impossible. You can go through 200 pairs of gloves and not find a perfect pair of gloves, you know, for your class. You know, there's a lot of things that contribute to this. You know, there's the number of different fixes that we have. There is the fact that we don't have a lot of things in place that say like you can't have like multiple skill ranks, you know, on an item. Like right now we allow you to have like, you know, 3 different plus core skill ranks on an item occasionally, and that doesn't really serve anybody. So one of the things we want to think about a lot as we're looking towards 2024, because like you know, it's December, we're looking back at, you know, a year of talking together and, you know, trying to paint a picture of like what we want moving forward for us. You know, we want to be thinking more about like we have plans for solving these kinds of problems. We also see that there's not enough like runway with items either. Like there's a lot more they could be doing for the player when they drop for players. So one of the things we want to think about more as we get into 2024 is having items really be kind of like the start of a journey. So when something drops for you as a player, we want that to be like cool. You want to be able to get this and say, this is awesome. I can't wait to do X, Y, and Z to this and make it like really, really great, right? Like this is the perfect thing that I need for my build. And to feel that you've got more chances like to modify and customize that and really incorporate that into what you want for your particular playstyle. That's important for like player expression, for build making. It does a lot for just making the game more exciting versus like every single time you're looking for an upgrade, it's only whatever immediately drops in the ground, and I kind of have to make a decision based on that. We want to go a lot further than that, I think, in the future for players. Now, you know, these are the sorts of things I'm talking about are pretty big, right? Like in season 2, we made changes to the resistance system. We made changes like, you know, vulnerable damage being multiplied, making that additive. We made it. I think people that saw like we made a huge number of changes to the way that stats work and skills and a bunch of other stuff, right? Huge number of changes, and the reason why we did so much of it at once was because many of these things were very interconnected. And trying to improve these systems by doing like one small portion of it can actually make everything worse. Because this is now like almost like a little island of a different idea that's floating out and not integrated properly into everything else in the game, right? So as we think about the sorts of itemization changes we're looking to make, the reward changes we want to make things more exciting for players to chase, and really, again, if Diablo is a game about killing monsters and getting loot, then killing monsters feels pretty good right now. I think that getting loot has places where we can make improvements. You know, we need to make sure that's holding up its end of the bargain, right? But to make this, the sorts of changes that we're talking about, there's basically a number of other things that are going to need to be adjusted at the same time. So we have plans for a really, really big update for itemization that we want to be able to produce. It's not coming in Season 3. We're looking at Season 4, where we want to be able to target a lot of these changes to come out kind of en masse. So in Season 3, which we're not talking about today, Season 3 today, but there's still cool stuff that we have coming up. Which we'll tell. I guess we'll talk. Well, yeah, sure. Right. We're about to talk like a tiny bit about Season 3. There's still lots of great feedback that we're getting from players about their experience playing in Season 3 right now.
Yeah, Season 2, yeah.
Yeah, well, sorry, yes. Feedback from Season 2 that we want to be able to try to to incorporate into Season 3.
Yeah, well, and one of the things that we've seen with Season 2, right, is this was you were talking about how we made a lot of changes to itemization. We made a lot of changes to builds.
Yeah.
There were some things that got less powerful, but we really sort of, I think we did a great job delivering on some of the stuff we talked about back in Season 1 in terms of making, when we make changes to stats or classes or itemization, that we make sure that we're adding lots of new cool stuff. And I think we plan to continue to do that with Season 3, right? So, I think we've talked. I've said on social, like, hey, we're not gonna nerf your builds here throughout Season 2. We were just playing Ball Lightning, right?
Yeah, sure.
Just live here, and we think that's really important because we built Abattoir of Zir based on the balance of the game as it stands in Season 2. But then as you get into Season 2, you can Season 3. No one's going to say any of the right season numbers today. But as you get into Season 3, you can expect to see some of those balance changes, kind of like what we saw in Season 2, right?
That's right. So we'll change along those lines. We'll be able to talk about those as we get a little bit closer to the Season 3 release date. And there's a bunch of other changes we're making in Season.
Well, there's the one thing about, I know you were talking about with itemization. We're prepping a lot of changes, and we've actually we have talked to at least a group of Diablo partners, content creators already about some of the itemization changes that are going to be coming in Season 4.
That's right.
So they have actually. There are people aware of some of the details and changes that we're actually offering. So, and we're doing that mostly for, we wanted to get some feedback from and bounce like some ideas that we actually had. So we're really looking forward to, actually going through all of that and making sure and refining it a little bit before we actually put it out in front of everyone. And so there will be more news about itemization as we go through Season 3 and into Season 4. Obviously with the big changes that are going to be coming. But we have been actually talking with a select group of people, with our Diablo partners, our content creators, specifically on that. So, and I wanted to make sure like people weren't thinking we're working within like a box or something like that from that end. Yeah,
like Joe said at BlizzCon, like if end game content is one of our highest priorities, itemization is our highest priority, right? Like we're actively working on these things. It's just they take time because they're expansive. And it's going to be better for the game, bringing these things together into one big release. We're very, very excited about it. It was really fun talking to content creators about some of these plans and getting some of that initial feedback, so that's cool. But like we're in motion, we're working through these things right now. So, but again, that's not all, right? Like, as we look towards Season 3 and talk about like the sorts of things that players are having some difficulties with right now, there's a couple things that got brought up. First is Forgotten Souls.
Yes.
Yeah, it's obviously we see the players are having a tougher time getting Forgotten Souls in Diablo 4 and Season 2, relative to other points in time. One of the things that we're doing based upon that feedback and feedback about Helltide is actually increasing the Helltide uptime. So basically, Helltide's going to be up every hour for about 55 minutes. It's going to be like a 5-minute break, and then it's going to come back up again. You don't run through again. Yeah. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to farm those Forgotten Souls up when you're looking for them.
Yeah, we really saw that it worked well with Blood Harvest, and it's something we wanted to bring over to Helltide. I think there are more lessons from Blood Harvest that we can incorporate, but this was one that we thought was really important to get in for Season 3.
Yeah, and this is just part of like the things we learn through seasons that players really enjoy, and it helps us make the game better. There's even like the idea that from Season 1 to Season 2, where we brought Malignant Powers kind of back in those unique rings that we announced at BlizzCon and are obviously now out now. Blood Harvest has taught us a lot about, players' expectations of like what they're looking for when it comes to like things like Helltide as well. So it's just some of these learnings that we continuously apply to the game, which has been really great.
Yeah, and I want to talk about another thing that we saw in Season 2 that I've sort of been talking about as the 925 problem.
Oh, sure.
Basically, when you first get access to World Tier 4, you can start getting the highest eye power loot immediately from world bosses and from Duriel if someone carries you through Duriel. And that like Duriel totally makes sense. It's a super hard encounter. It's a farming encounter, right? It's level 100. The world bosses probably shouldn't have a guaranteed chance to drop 925 now because we hate having players have good loot. Just because, you know, when I was playing through it, I was, what, 72, and all my gear was 925 at that
Sure,
point. And
yeah.
I felt like, where am I going to go from here? Now, it wasn't all, I had a bunch of garbage affixes, right, like Joe was talking about. But there's another part of this problem, which is that as you get up toward close to 100 and reach 100, it feels like there aren't enough there isn't enough variety in places where you can get 925 gear reliably. Like it can drop from Varshan, but it's a very small chance. It can drop from stuff like Beast and Ice. And so it feels like, you know, things like turning in Obels, turning in Whispers, doing some of those other ladder bosses, and even in some cases, some of the Nightmare Dungeon content. It can feel like, well, I guess I'm just supposed to do Duriel and maybe do
Lake
the
Run
world
went
bosses.
bad, guys.
Yeah, it's not consistent enough.
Clogged
for
the
resources
toilet.
that aren't Duriel and aren't the world bosses.
Yeah.
So we love.
I
that you
actually had
wanna
to
go
whip
farm
out the
Duriel
plunger,
for
which I
enemies
haven't had to
and
do in
items.
aeons.
We like the idea that you want to go hit world boss.
But
when
it
it's
was
up,
quick,
and that's fun.
relatively. It wasn't
But
messy or anything.
It doesn't feel good.
but
Those are the only two ways for you to really like.
I definitely
adequately
needed to
find
use the
these kinds of,
plunger.
these kinds of
That was a
There's
little
gonna be a balance,
unusual.
and we're going to be certainly evaluating that to make sure that it feels like it's a little easier to find 925s
Where am I at?
in other, like, you know, top eye power items.
Oh, 4
other content
minutes.
channels
Just in
throughout the game.
time for the start of core.
Awesome. Yeah, so we have some changes coming with season 3 to based off of feedback that we've gotten from players with season 2. Things around Hell Tide, things around the 925, the eye level 925 items specifically. So, but yeah, great to hear. Lots of changes.
What did
coming.
I
And of course,
miss?
season 4 we have some big changes for.
I think I got the
organization
big
that
points
are,
of it.
Along the
I don't-
road.
I don't-
So,
I don't know that I have
know
many
we
burning
wanna
questions.
Jump into Q&A now. Because and this is an opportunity for people in chat to kind of jump in and ask their
I'm so
questions.
sorry, Adam, for like ruining this transition. So I guess one last thing on itemization. So part of all of this
Yeah,
is
I'm on
trying
Wild
to find
Growth.
more ways to
Horde.
What's this?
Horde.
I love the lower the
Don't forget
lower
we're doing
level.
Horde.
No, back to itemization.
Yeah, sorry.
As it should be.
Okay, yeah. So part of all of this is trying to find more ways to communicate, different ways to communicate the like what our intentions are, what our plans are. Try and check them against like the views of the community. You know, we don't want to overpromise, underdeliver. We want to make sure.
Yeah,
that we're
well,
happy with
that's it.
plans. So we're going through this. We're going to continue to try to like provide as much detail as we can as we go. This isn't about kind of creating a grand reveal. That's not the point.
Right.
We want to manage expectations and also make sure that we're really, really happy with what we have, so that when we deliver to players, to be excited about it. So when we're ready to talk more about these things leading into season 4, we're gonna make sure that we do a whole stream about these changes.
Yeah, it's more about getting it right than keeping it secret.
That's
Oh,
not
less
about-
than 1 minute, everyone.
Yeah.
Hype, hypoo.
Exactly, and then
Hyper-
just goes back to,
hyper
like,
diaper.
Why we've already
Hype
started talking
diaper.
to, like even some of our Diablo partners, our content creators, a little bit about it, just to make sure that we're not working within a box where we're trying to get this right and show it to everyone. So, all right, so Q&A. This again, I'll do my preamble again. This is a good opportunity for people in Twitch chat to be able to drop
2
some
minutes
questions,
now.
kind of
Shit.
moving quickly,
All
but
right.
we have our community.
3 minutes
actually
now.
in there.
No, come on.
Like props to Lisa Casey in there right now and pulling specific.
Quit playing games with my
questions
heart.
For Q&A. I'm watching Rich. By the way, no one sees this. We have a whiteboard in here. Rich is like, oh, Midwinter Blight. This is a question that a lot of people have been asking. It ends on January 2nd. Right. So people who are asking in chat, Midwinter Blight goes through January 2nd, so everyone is aware of that. And then Avatar Azir actually goes nearly to the end of the season.
That's right.
So players can check out Avatar Azir almost all the way through the end of season 2. Good reminders on these end dates. I will say that there's a question, before we jump into questions from chat, there was a question that we've been getting a lot online from console players, specifically related to gold trading, that I do want to actually address as well.
Oh, yeah.
People have sent me videos, and I totally understand. It has become very, very tedious to actually trade gold. And since gold accumulation has actually grown within Season 2. It's become very tedious as a console player to trade gold using the UI and the user interface within the game.
There's been some gold inflation in Season 2.
Exactly.
We know.
And
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
they have
yeah.
to like
Hell
manually
yeah.
scroll their gold, and it can be a little difficult. I will say that is being addressed, and the team is working on a fix for that. We're hoping that will be in for Season 3.
Yep.
So players on console will get a little bit more, I guess, of a relief during that specific point.
Yeah, it'd be a
for
lot
Season
easier to put in, 100 million, a billion gold, whatever you want to put it.
Exactly. So I will jump into questions here. We have Pow Warpig. Why is Abattoir of Zir considered a seasonal event and not normal content?
Yeah, because we want it to go away at the end of the season. That's why. So because as I was kind of talking about a little bit earlier, but like the Abattoir of Zir is a piece of content. We're putting it out there, and we really want to see how players interact with it. We want
They're
to see,
experimenting.
what people like about it, what they don't like about it. We want to be able to take that feedback and incorporate that into more things that we do.
Yeah.
We are going to be looking for more like we say things like seasonal and evergreen. We are looking for more evergreen pieces of endgame content for players to engage with and just kind of continue to level up the base Diablo 4 experience, particularly in that World Tier 4 environment. But we want to be able to do that in a way that is that is intentional, right? So
Yeah. I think you were saying earlier we want to make more content like this, but with Abattoir of Zir, this is the first of its kind. This is the first time we've done something like this.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to learn some stuff from it.
Yeah, we intend to learn some stuff from it.
Question from Breezy Seashore regarding Abattoir Zir. Will we get any sigils or sigil powder from Abattoir Zir dungeons?
Abattoir of Zir runs do drop sigil at the end, but you don't get sigil drops as part of the Abattoir of Zir runs.
Perfect. All right. And then I guess this is kind of similar to a question that you guys, the first question, which is from Mr. Beefcakes Gaming, saying, are we getting some sort of variation of this mode in future seasons? Are there like more big plans related to endgame beyond Abattoir of Zir for D4?
Yeah, I mean, in Season 3, we know that we're going to be launching...
All right, I'm 34. All right. Sorry, I got to get... We got to make our character while we have the chance to here.
Looking at more content just
All
like
right,
this,
warrior, we
and
said
we'll be releasing
Tauren.
it as well. During the course, we're talking about...
We got a warrior going.
We're talking about things we want to do in Season 4. So we are working through all of that right now. But yes, you will see more content like this in the future.
Yeah, and jump into Abattoir next week and play it and tell us about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you love it, then tell us, and we're going to make more of that.
Yeah.
Question from Rimas.
I want bighorns.
This is like a year of this.
Yeah,
Of
this is
Adam
a
saying
year
a
of
name
these.
with an
Y'all
upward
just need to
inflection
have
at the end of
easier
the name.
Twitch names. Like mine's Pez Radar. It's like so simple. Come on,
Not
everyone.
everybody can be as clever as you with Pez Radar.
I know, so clever. I took a popular candy and mixed it in with the word radar, everyone. So Rima says, any news on a loot filter? Any
Boom, I got the
plans for
Gorath
that?
name. Holy
Things like that?
shit.
This is a popular question we tend to get quite often, so.
I don't know what's going on with the sound of my game client, though.
Well,
Doesn't seem to be
you can answer
working.
too. I think we answered. We had a question like this at BlizzCon.
Yes.
And what I said, which continues to be true, is that we think that being able to filter your loot efficiently
Oh my god.
is a baseline part that should be part of all ARPGs, including Diablo 4. Some of the changes that we're planning coming up for itemization in Season 4, I think will help with that. We're going to look at those and look
Where's
at
that zoom out thing that I
in
needed
the
from last
context of
time?
the loot filter as
All right, hang on,
Like,
let's go to
we're
sound
certainly
first.
Not, against adding a loot filter, and it's something that we're looking at alongside.
There, sound has
changes
come
that we're
on.
making. But the changes to itemization are so significant that if we added a loot filter today, it wouldn't work after we changed it.
Yeah, there's gonna be significant changes. So and I call that like some of the problems, the big problems that we see right now in itemization. Largely, a lot of it comes down to being able to parse all this loot that you're collecting, and then like the general
How is
like,
anyone gonna get any
they're not
questing done with
really
all
good,
this,
right?
all these
Nobody
people
wants
around?
to
Holy
really
shit.
nobody really wants, it's not. I shouldn't say no one really wants 3 or 4 resists on an item, but like there are some people that want 3 or 4 resists on an item. We're probably not gonna do a lot of that in the future. There's more things we're doing to make it just easier to parse item to item you know, the sorts of improvements and benefits and make it more exciting for players.
Question from It's Doffy. Are there plans for more butcher-style bosses like Bloodseekers? Would love more types of these encounters, especially maybe during world bosses. That'd be crazy. But yeah, having like 4 butchers spawn in the middle of a world boss, that'd be fun.
It's just a different kind of world boss at that point.
Exactly. But yeah, any plans for, like, I guess that it's that surprise type of element with enemies that come in.
Yeah, we love that the gameplay that we're getting from Bloodseekers, like dropping into dungeons occasionally. I think you see even just like the fights at the end of the Abattoir of Zero runs, they're already pretty fun. You don't really know what combination of
So many cows, yes.
and Bloodseeker classes you're going to get when you kind of wrap things up. Looking for more interruption, disruptive content like that, you know, that kind of creates this like bolts of excitement. You're going through like a content piece that you think you might already know.
setting things up a little bit.
So you mentioned world bosses, and I was killing Treasure Beast last week, and when you stagger Treasure Beast, you can actually get one of those little treasure goblins that pops out.
Yeah, I don't have a good place for the
This
chat
isn't very
box
good.
here. That's unfortunate.
There we go.
Not exactly.
Not
butcher.
exactly that.
not
but-
even remotely.
Oh, everyone has their death
Joe
log
had
on,
an
even though.
experience and wants to let everyone know.
I
Go
got-
on, fixing that.
Look, I got 1 rawhide and 300 gold.
I'm like, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
My death
yeah,
log's
and,
gonna go nuts here.
Yeah, a lot of people are going like Treasure Beast. What's that? That we tend to use more internal
Oh, yeah.
names prior to when we actually develop a real name.
The world boss with the big chest full of
Exactly.
News of your arrival
So
spread quickly among
ignore
the
our
tribe.
internal.
You have
Hey,
a
guys,
promising
this is
air
internal.
about
Yeah,
you.
that-
Or
that's-
Prove
utilize
yourself
it
to the
do more
tribe.
like we do.
Exactly.
Perhaps
exactly.
someday soon you will
So
be welcomed into the great city
you
of
guys,
Thunder Bluff.
I know
But before
that,
that can happen, you
we've
must
gotten
prove
questions
yourself to my
about-
father,
we still get
Chief Hawkwind.
questions. We're still getting
Up
questions
here
that people
on
didn't
Red
see at the
Cloud
beginning of
Mesa,
the
we
stream.
pride
We
ourselves
do
on
want
Well,
to
time for tour.
did talk
Tour and
about
hunt
and
out of
address
necessity and for
the
sport.
questions we've been
Our
seeing a lot
supply
in
of
the
meats has run
community
low,
related
and we
to,
require feathers for
power
clothing.
that is swirling
Hunt the
around
nearby
that
plain
people talking
striders
about,
and
you guys
prove
kind of
yourself
adding
This
to
this
the
probably isn't
knowledge.
even that many
And,
people.
I
This
know
is
that,
probably like
we talked about it
low.
before,
I bet you like
but
Elwyn is probably
talking about
full of
adding
people.
paper power to
All
the
right,
Diablo 4.
sorry, Diablo. You're just noise now. We're in the game. Although I've got to start the show in 9 minutes. I probably should go for a cigarette. Damn, look at all these people. It's beautiful to see lots of players in though. I'll leave that down here for now. Are you not watching YouTube chat as well? I thought you had them. They are integrated. Is it not working? Yeah, it's working. Test. I'm on YouTube. Oh, why is it not working? What the hell's going on, Restream? Because the Twitch matches are going over there. That's like, there's like a technical error happening. Why is it being like that? Well, both are supposed to work, but I guess I haven't been seeing messages. But messages, there's some little fucky with this, I think. I don't have time to troubleshoot it right now. We're starting core in a few minutes. That's annoying though. It's supposed to have restream chat. I just don't pay attention to a lot to it because not a lot of people chat on the YouTube anyways. I think my viewership's super low on YouTube, right? But it's just still there. People like to watch the VODs later. But like the Twitch chat is coming over to YouTube, you know what I mean? So I don't understand. Probably because it's not connected. If I had to guess, there's like I'm seeing a connection issue. I still would think the chat would be like sharing. I see all the Twitch chat on my restream too. It's like working everywhere except for Twitch chat. I wonder if Twitch has blocked it. Is that possible? Wild Growth Horde is what we're doing, Splendife. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working. I thought they were integrated too, but it doesn't like work. I don't know. I
We
can't.
live together and work together.
I don't know what this
Our
problem is.
commitment to one another carries with it a high degree of responsibility. I ask of you now a humble task. My
I'll
mother
check
set
it out
this
after. I
morning
think
to
maybe it's
fetch
because it's
water
not
from the
connected.
well
I
to
might
the
be streaming
southeast of
directly to
Roger.
YouTube, but
It
then I'm
has been
streaming
quite some
to
time now.
Restream
Perhaps you could check on her for me
for
while I
YouTube.
attend to
I'm
tribal
streaming directly to
matters
Twitch. I think that's the problem. So I should fix it on my end, basically. So wait, people are gonna die, and then it's just gonna deathlog me forever? How do I... Okay, I think I should turn it off. Why am I not seeing the sound? Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. I don't need to disable the add-on. It's probably still useful. I'm going to be playing hardcore again. I don't want to go too nuts. This works, right? Man, I spent so long getting in here. I don't want to leave, but I'm going to have to. All right, I'm going to have a smoke. I'm probably going to leave this on, but I'm going to shut my camera off and concentrate on my show. So I don't know why you would... Yeah, maybe I'll just turn the stream off. It's probably just... That's too complicated, too distracting. But I'm gonna leave it on because we'll raid Scott's channel if he is even live now. Let me check. Where's Frog Pants? Yeah, he's live. All right, let's get a raid going, I guess. All right, guys, I'm gonna go for a smoke, but before I go, we're gonna raid. I don't even know if he's there or not, but we're just gonna ship you guys over there. We bumped it up to 6 o'clock because I don't have to work anymore. Alright, you ready to raid? We're gonna raid some Frog Pants. Let's get some Frog Pants raided. Let's do it. See you in a bit.